welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. I'm Jade Harrell, and I'm joined by greatness. I am joined by Amber Clear and a face that you should remember and love. Miss Ivy Hartman is with the team.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
You're telling me when they first invited me to come and host the show, my first inclination was like, is Jade not on the show anymore? Like, because this is epic for me to be able to, we like vibe, like you all vibe off camera all the time. And then for us to be vibing with y'all is going to be super fun.
Thank
you. So thank
you. And Let's Talk will never be the same. So we haven't seen
for better or worse.
Exactly. Come along for the ride. But I have to know, because it's been a minute, and I'm going to ask you too. What have you been doing, Amber Clear?
I've been selling out comedy shows. I've been being the keynote speaker for a ton of conferences. And then I've been, just climbing mountains and maybe fell off one, but I'm good.
What? Oh my gosh. And what do you do in your spare time?
This is literally.
I garden.
Literally,
I got my
not
chicken.
Figuratively, but maybe both, a little bit of climbing mountains. And
I literally was going to the summit and I got distracted and I turned and I literally slid down these rocks like 20 feet and I was like, well, I think that was high enough for me.
Well, at least you learned.
Yeah. I got enough back there when I fell down, I bounced back up.
So if you taught your dog to go get help, I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, the thing is, like, sometimes I'm not always, I need to get better about like, this is where I'm going, this one will be back.
Yeah.
This is my GPS cord. But like, there's no signal up there, which is why I love it. Like, I'm breaking barriers because everyone's like, oh, fatty's up there going up the mountain.
That's one way of calling it.
Yeah, no, I love it. Like, like I pass people, and they're going this way, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got oxygen," because I forget my inhaler. But I don't look like a typical hiker. Like they're all geared up, and I'm like, just in my New Balances.
I was going to ask you about footwear.
Right. I carry my gear.
For I don't think it's about what you look like. It's about who you are, and like it teaches you a lot. Like you're not the same person when you go back down. Like,
I believe that.
Yeah, and I'm afraid of heights. So this is like a whole new world.
She'll tackle fear in a heartbeat. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned. And what you can see now and probably tell is this is why her comedy shows sell out.
Right. I'm learning.
I'm breaking barriers.
Yeah.
Barriers.
Yeah. I go out in the audience. I become one with them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just out there hunting for just as much fun as they are. So.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, bring us up to speed.
Oh my gosh.
Hartman.
Well, it's funny.
Life is different for you now.
It is. It is different for me. So outside of here, I work as a school counselor, mostly helping students with their post-high school plans, right? Okay. And then also this time of year, I'm an adjunct faculty at University of Missouri St. Louis teaching. So, and then doing this.
What do you teach?
So it's basically what I do it's career planning for K through 12 school counselors. So it's super fun.
Yeah.
Right. And so for fun right now, basically I have a senior in high school and we're doing all these admitted. So I'm not just talking the talk. I'm like walking the walk.
Yeah, you're literally in the trenches right now.
Yeah. And we're going on these admitted student days. And for those of you who have a student who's doing this right now, you know that the FAFSA is totally messed up and we're trying to wait. And
that's what that stands for.
Fast. Yes, the acronyms that I'm not going to say on TV, but exactly, free application for federal student aid.
They haven't fixed anything.
Oh, girl, it was paper when I went to college. We're still trying to figure it all out. So that's where we are right now on that journey.
Well, I have been missing you both. I'm so excited to have you with us, and we've got some great things. Me?
Yes.
Trying to find less to do.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
But the whole idea is that we have a chance to catch up before we start talking. But I'm really excited to be talking with Ivy in the mix too. Pun intended, I think. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. We have a special guest from the St. Louis Cardinals joining us. We're going to take you out to the ball game, so to speak. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
And welcome back to Let's Talk. Our guest today isn't a native St. Louisan. However, that hasn't stopped her from loving our beloved Redbirds just as much. She's been in the Human Resources Department with the Cardinals since 2020 and has served as the Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Human Resources, to say the least, ensuring the organization is compliant with Major League Baseball requirements. In addition, she works with the St. Louis Cardinals Care and helps raise awareness about the team's charitable work in our communities. She was recently recognized as the 2023 Deluxe Magazine Power 100 honoree, and she's joining us now. Please join me in welcoming Felicia Lamar. My goodness. Take a bow and get some tissue because that's quite a bit to take on. How did you get involved at all in Major League Baseball, Human Resources, DEIB, and the rest? Where did it start for you?
It's been a journey. Once I graduated college, I actually have been in HR my entire career. Mm-hmm. So once I graduated from college, I actually started working for the casino industry in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Loved it. My passion is kind of helping people. So I feel like being in HR, I get that opportunity to really change lives with helping people find jobs, to provide for their families. So I've been in the HR field for a while. Yeah. After the casino industry, I went over into hospitality. So I've actually been in Busch Stadium for a while because I worked for Delaware North. So again, got to meet a ton of great people throughout the city and kind of serve in that way. And then in 2020, moved over into the front office and took on my role in HR. And then last year we added the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. So
because she didn't have enough going on.
I mean, right? And it sounds like they caught wind of that. They're like, wow, she can do so much. Move her up some more. Move her up again. You know,
start cloning her.
They're going to need to. But you sound like with the work you're doing, mm-hmm. that you're still on the fun side of things. How do you bring all that together for community impact?
Oh, I make sure I stay on the fun side of things because no one wants to go and you spend so much time at your job every day. So who wants to be there and be miserable, right?
But how do you bring fun into HR?
Right, because it's the Cardinals. Take me to the local utility company. Maybe not.
Oh, goodness. No, you can still have fun.
Okay.
That's the thing that people think about HR, that we're like the ruler. We come in and we only bring the negative and we are laying the hammer down. No, that is not HR. We want to make sure you feel supported. You have all the things that you need. How's the culture here? Is it somewhere you want to stay? So I think of it that way. Am I making a welcoming, belonging environment for all the employees who are here? So I go and I talk. I ask about their families, what they like, what they don't like. You'd be surprised at all the stories and all the things they share.
What are they like?
Tell us some. I think that's a different show. Confessions.
Oh my God.
HR confessions.
Oh my goodness. I will tell you, our president, Bill DeWitt III, is an amazing artist.
Really?
Amazing artist.
Like with a paintbrush?
With painting. He's an amazing artist, and a lot of people don't know that.
Everybody's got to have an outlet. And I know that I'm the new kid here, and so I'm just going to step all over it a little bit if it's okay. So I'm like this phenomenal woman doing all these things, right? And I think just as much as you're interacting with people, you're probably setting an example for people. So when we talk about that, having fun, right? But that work-life balance, how do you do it?
You know, I don't say work-life balance because you can't really balance the two you can't really balance the two equally. It's just not possible. I know that sounds bad, but it's how you change your perspective around it. Mm-hmm. So it's not so much my work-life balance, it's me. It's what I'm doing. It's my work day and it's my day away from work. And I just try to make sure that I give my best and my all to both when I'm doing both.
But you know what? But that is not true, because when we talk about that with young people, we say, oh, do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Speaking of young people, when you were in college, what was your plan? What were you graduating in to be in HR? Was that your goal?
No, not at all. Let me tell you, I probably failed and turned around and pivoted and did all of those things. That's why I'm so passionate about telling our young people that it is okay to fall. It is okay to change directions, because I did it a lot. When I first went to college, I wanted to be a teacher because my mom was a teacher. But then I got in and I was like, this is so boring. Then I wanted to be on the radio because I thought, I can meet all the celebrities on the radio and they only work 4 hours and then I can go home. That didn't work because I had a surprise my junior year. I had my son, so I was like, I had to find like a real job. What else do I like? So I kind of took a big turn and kind of fell into HR actually. So yeah,
well,
best thing I ever did.
Where you bring so much light and perspective to that work. And I'm thinking in this environment, that mix, that combination creates some really great impact. What are you looking to achieve in your role and how to make that difference through the organization?
Yeah, my focus so far has been solely on the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. Okay. And what I really want to do is just change the reputation of the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know if,
give us the before and after then. So what is the existing that you want? Exactly. People have impressions, ideas, and stories that they may or may not have heard. I thought there was no oxygen here.
Correct.
When I moved. I said there's no trees in St. Louis. I've come to learn better and breathe in all that good air. But for you, what was the existing narrative that you wanted to counteract?
So there was a narrative that the St. Louis Cardinals, they weren't for Black people, that they were a very traditional organization, conservative organization, and that they were this. That they didn't do a lot in the community. If they did, it was in the county. Just a lot of negative connotations around race and classism and things like that. And so getting into the organization, I recognized that's not who we are at all, but why don't people know this? Yeah. So that's been my goal, to get out into the communities, to let people know, hey, we do so many things for all the different communities here in St. Louis. We just didn't do a good job of telling our story. So now I want to make sure I tell our story.
Sure. To your credit, I would think that would be a national problem or challenge because of the historic context.
Yep.
But what are some of those things that you want to know? Like, what are you doing?
What do we need to know? What do we need to, like,
you said, we're doing all this good stuff. Drop a few of them on us.
Yeah. So through our community efforts, we have partnered with a ton of different not-for-profit organizations in the city, in the metro area, actually, even including the Illinois area. But we have donated toys. We do school drives. We do backpacks. We have restored the Harris Stowe baseball field, which used to be the park where the Stars played back in the Negro Leagues. Spent over $1 million restoring that field. Our Cardinals Care organization, we do tons of different things in the community, from if it's restoring different ballparks throughout the city through our RBI program, teaching young kids and trying to get young kids back into baseball. So ton of different things that we do from a community standpoint.
What's an average day look like for you, or an average week? Because it sounds like no day is going to be the same for you.
It is not.
Like a week in either.
Yeah. No day is. I tend to go in and I look. Okay, what do I have planned for today? I'm usually derailed by 9:30, and I just try to.
I think her biggest strength is her ability to adapt.
Yeah, right. So you are a teacher.
Yeah. So by 9:30, you can.
Yeah. So go in. I support the entire front office staff. I support our affiliates too, as well as the players, the 40-man roster, minor league players, all of that.
When you say affiliates, what do you mean?
Affiliates are our, how do I explain affiliates? The AAA, AA, single A, high A. So it's our minor league teams.
Okay.
And the staff that works there.
I went with batteries.
No. Okay. What's the other major minor league team?
Well, let's also clear this up in case y'all didn't know. You know that the person who helps with the people putting on the field and off the field is not the coach, right? In baseball, it's called a manager.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm see, like, as a
8 years old
today. Oh
So we've got like a minute left. What's
But you still have coaches. You have a bench coach. You have a third base coach, first base coach, but the manager is the leader.
I feel like the second part of our show with Felicia is going to be learning a little bit more so that we can drop some jargon when we go to the games this season and be like, I know what's
you
happening.
guys are watching the game?
What?
Oh, no, we watch and talk, and I want to be able to talk about the great things they're doing, and we're going to keep talking about more of those, including, would it be MLB or any other sport as a possible direction? Would you feel like you'd go anywhere with what you're doing?
Ooh.
So we need to take a quick break, but stay with us. When we return, we'll have more fun with Felicia Lamar, Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Human Resources with our St. Louis Cardinals. We'll be right back.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. We've been having the best conversation with the Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, as well as Human Resources for the St. Louis Cardinals, Felicia Lamar. Felicia, before the break, I wanted to know if there's another sporting industry that you might consider, or has MLB won your heart and the Redbirds have made you fall in love?
Yeah, I get asked that question a lot. I've
Maybe
actually
we
been
can't
offered.
tell your boss that part.
I know. I've actually been offered roles in the different leagues, but I love football, so I don't think I'd want to work in it to take that kind of love I have for it away, because I'd be too in the nitty gritty to know like, oh, this makes me mad. So I wouldn't enjoy it as much. But I think I'm going to be a Cardinal for life, I think. I love where I am. I love our organization, our owners, the team we're building. I like the direction that we're going in.
Is that kind of the flavor of most people in the office that you work with? The team that you're...
Yeah. Because a lot of the people who work for our organization have been there for years and years and years. So it kind of becomes their identity in a way. Maybe not always in a good way, but it becomes who they are. So they stay.
When I moved to St. Louis, I was talking about that it's a tough nut to crack, right? Like if you're not from here and you don't know people, it can be back then, 25 years ago, a good old boys club, right?
Yep.
And so I think about an industry being that.
Sport.
Exactly. And but I think of the two big things, right? And forgive me for other big things here in St. Louis, but I think about the brewery, which we like to call Anheuser-Busch, right? And I think about the Cardinals. And so when you meet somebody, I don't care what you do for that organization, I'm like, oh, can you get me some tea?
Okay.
Oh, can you get me some beer?
Yeah, I get it a lot.
So has that happened?
Oh my gosh, my mom is the worst. She will meet people and tell people, oh, my daughter works for the Cardinals. You want tickets? Sure. And she'll call me and like, well, they need 9 tickets. They need 12. I'm like, oh my gosh, why do you never say 1 or 2? What are you doing? I get it, but I enjoy it because I understand some people, and which shocked me that some people have never ever been, some people, native St. Louisans have never been to the ballpark for a game.
But it's approachable. I feel like the Cardinals try to make it affordable and bring community people in, right?
And they
We do.
a ton of organizational stuff. Like they have Air Force and military days, LGBTQ days.
Lots of things.
Lots of cultural
So I would imagine
services.
that falls in your purview is making sure that it is diverse, inclusive, equitable, as well as creates a space of belonging internally and externally. I saw you. and externally. But it sounds so well-rounded. Then what do you need to focus your tasks on? Where are the gaps that DEI needs to expand upon or that we can even learn from?
So our gaps, and I'm going to speak for our organization. Our gaps are in making sure we have a diverse front office, a diverse team, and that we are welcoming to all people coming into the ballpark.
Are there challenges that come with that?
There are, because like you were saying, you heard St. Louis was a hard nut to crack, and it's harder getting in. St. Louis is such a networking city and town and place until a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't belong there. I may belong there. I don't really know. So it's about educating them, telling them, hey, we do this, we provide this, we offer these things. Come down, enjoy the ball game. It's for everyone, not just for certain people.
What do you say to people who haven't had the experience to entice them to come out?
I say, okay, first off, they call it baseball heaven. Do you want to really see if that's it? And then they say, I do. And I said, well, come down.
And then you just hear, whoa, when you walk through the cage, right? It's not the beep beep of the metal detector.
It's not right.
So, but talk about, like, there's a cool events coming up with the Negro Leagues and Wrigley. So talk about some of that. We were talking about it off camera. Tell us more.
So June 20th, we are playing a game which is a tribute to the Negro Leagues. So MLB has gone to Birmingham, Alabama, and Rickwood Field is the oldest American ballpark in the country. Okay. It's where the Birmingham Barons used to play of the Negro Leagues. So it's huge in far as history and culture and legacy, because a lot of the Negro greats played there. So we're playing a game there June 20th against the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are putting it to where they are paying homage to Willie Mays, and the Cardinals, we will be there just paying homage to everybody because we're ecstatic about having this opportunity. And it's the inaugural game. So they've never done it. Lots of planning and preparations going into it. So we're excited.
June 20th, it's on my calendar.
Such a big deal.
Yeah.
And with us,
my two favorite teams.
Exactly. Well, we have how many major sports franchises here at all? So some of the things that are happening. Have you connected with your soccer counterpart? And I know that they went overseas to celebrate and bring more awareness and attention. Do you have plans for that broader expansion?
Good one.
I'm definitely on the bus with y'all to Alabama, but some of that broader vision, I think when you go wide, you also brighten the light locally.
We do. Last year, we actually played in the London series. We played the Cubs in London. So that was MLB's.
Did you get to go?
I think it was. I did not go. But everyone in the organization who did go very much enjoyed it.
You're still here.
So but you know what? It's the flights and just the food and everything. I was like, I'll pass on this one. It's okay.
She said the food.
Everyone be still. My heart.
It's not my fave.
I'm different about that. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't need the new phone. I'm just going to let y'all figure it out. And then so she's like, okay, first one, you guys go figure that out. Okay,
exactly.
I'll join you for the next one. Like,
She said pack her own snacks. She's going to bring her own snacks.
Yeah.
I would too.
So
because the beer's not cold.
That trip, was that a part of your function?
So no,
make sure everybody got there and was taken care of.
So no, that was a lot on the baseball operations as far as the team travels and all of that. Now the front office activities, we all did kind of play a role in planning how that was going to go. But for the most part, the baseball operations, they do this every day because they plan when they go from city to city. Yeah. So they pretty much planned it with the assistance of MLB, since it was an MLB initiative. Cool.
Well, enjoying you so much. Like there's a ton of directions we could go, but most importantly, and with our program.
Are you going to talk about jewelry?
No, look, you already know I'm putting in requests. Okay. But I do want to get a sense of what are you most excited about? What can we look forward to with the community engagement and outreach you have planned? What can we look forward to?
So I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for the opportunity for the world to see more of Jordan Walker and Mason Wynn and some of our other minor leaguers who I'm hoping will get the call up later in the year. We have some really, really good players in the pipeline. So I'm anxious for that to happen, because that's, at the end of the day, the organization, we're all about the team too. We're fans too. Okay. So that's what we're most excited about.
So wait, are you different fans from us? We're pretty brutal on our birds. When they're winning, we're flying right there with you. But let there be one game off.
We're brutal too. Opposite. I go when they're losing so I can people watch because tickets are cheaper.
And you see, Which is my point, which confirms my point. You know, you're not fair weather fans there, I would imagine.
Right. Oh, no.
Do wins or loss affect how you're able to engage? You know, is it contingent upon how well they're doing, your ability to impact?
I would say you have to work a little harder when the team is losing because people's attention span isn't there. So you have to work a little harder for like those events and to get people to come out to the games and everything. But at the end of the day, we still have the players. We still kind of do things that the community wants. It's exciting. We partner with, boys and girls clubs and Big Brothers, Big Sisters and things like that to put on events in the city. So it's not just about, what's on the field.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. For me, no. Like I like that the field is green.
It's a full experience for Amber. Yeah. So I want to take the opportunity to have you send an invitation to our viewers and folks that we encounter to come out and connect with the Cardinals.
Yes. Tickets are on sale right now. Anyone can go to our website, cardinals.com, and click on tickets. We have a ton of great things coming up as far as theme games. We have our annual Black Heritage. We have our Pride Night. We have Asians.
Pacific Islander,
AAPI.
I know, that's how we abbreviate it. Yes.
Well, I'm not mad because you're in the department of acronyms.
I am.
DEI, BA, it's all there. That's how you live. MLB.
I do.
What does a girl do? HR. Yeah.
Talking to my baseball counterparts, we usually use their acronyms.
Gotcha.
Oh, Cincinnati, CIN. Yeah, sure. Cubs or White Sox. Which one you want?
For sure.
It can get a lot sometimes.
But you got something for everybody coming up.
We do.
And
tickets are
us in the house.
Yeah.
Something else new coming to the stadium with Albert Pujols. Is that going to happen this season?
It is. We have a new all-inclusive club, the 703 Club, that is kind of, I don't know if you've been to the ballpark, but it's kind of like our Champions Club and the Cardinals Club. So it's all-inclusive ticket, all you can eat. They have some great food offerings that they're putting in there. We're all going to be there. Yes.
Yeah.
With your mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And her 12
people. So we're excited about this ball break. We're excited to turn the team around, get back to winning because this last season wasn't fun. So
winning is a team effort when it comes to the Cardinals, and that means with us too.
Yes.
And that most certainly means with you. Felicia, thank you so much for being with us. What an enjoyable opportunity to get that insight and to connect with you.
Thank you.
Totally love it. Mm-hmm. Well, we are definitely rooting for our Redbirds, you better, so we can win and hope they can bring us home another championship for this season. For more information, be sure to visit cardinals.com and stay with us. There's more Let's Talk when we return. Stay close. And thank you for coming back. We had to talk a little bit more about this conversation. What'd you think?
She is a force. I love her.
For sure, for sure.
I mean, this is so cool that this whole show, this whole idea, and that we get to meet these cool women. I'm like, oh, good. Yes, I wish I want happy hour with this person, right?
So we can ask you to. So you're going to come back?
Oh, please, if you'll have me. I mean, just a phenomenal. And so my big dream here is I'm excited for us to do something socially with Felicia.
Yeah.
The 703 Club sounds like the thing that we should do.
Let's talk from 703.
That's You're the idea lady. I mean,
know.
you just keep them coming.
Well, I couldn't keep naming kids. I had to start naming projects and stuff. There's a lot to keep up with, so what do you do?
Just have an impact. And you get great questions for our guests.
Well, I was really intrigued. And
her adaptability is everything. Her ability to pivot has led to so much success for her and then in turn for the organizations that she's worked for.
I like that she said, I don't want to be in education, but the funny thing is she kind of is, right? So she's having this impact on an organization, but all the humans with it.
Yeah.
I know how much she impacted me just from being here. So like every human she's around is just, that's it. Like teachers do, right?
Absolutely. Whether it went much broader, wider breadth of reach, essentially. And then the impact, the ripple effect of each thing she ignites.
And I recognize
we needed that though for this town,
right,
for this team, and to disrupt that old previous name. You know, no offense to being old, I'm okay with my half 100-ish, but meaning, half 100-ish, but so valuable in what we discovered is what makes it so vibrant and home and welcoming, that there isn't a space that anyone feels like they're not.
Well said.
Yeah.
And that she was genuinely herself, right? Because when you're in that space and you're breaking glass ceilings and breaking down barriers and walls and being that pioneer, it's exhausting. And I can't even speak as a woman of color, you know what that's like, but in a good old boys club, certainly, as well as all those things. And so how impactful, long time, centuries of impact this is going to be. Super cool.
I was going to ask her, like, well, how's it going so far? But she's been at it since 2020, so she's had a chance to read through the surface. Yeah. She's into how it operates, what's really going on there, and so glad that she shared that.
But she did it. She came into the organization from a different angle, right? And so she saw it, and she knew what people were. She could see like all the gaps and what you could do better to make it more human.
Brought that value.
Yeah.
Which is what we strive to do, Amber Cakes. Yeah. Yes. Well, Ivy, it's been the absolute best having you with us.
Thank you.
I think it's a sweet, good fit here.
Sweet, maybe salty.
Sweet and as fit as good as they go, right? We are having too good of a time, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have. So we have to thank again our guest, Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Human Resources for the St. Louis Cardinals, Felicia Lamar. And thank you again, Ivy, for being with us, Amber, all the time. And you at home for joining us as well. Because without you, who would we be talking to? The show may be over, but you can always find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Or just visit us at stltv.net. I'm Jade Harrell for Amber Clear and Ivy Hartman. We'll see you next time on Let's Talk.